Hey everyone, Charles here, and first of all, thank you for stopping by my podcast. If this show inspires you, makes you think, or gives you that courage to jump into action, please help by donating to this show. Click the link in the description and donate. Your donation helps us with production and finding great guests moving forward. Thank you and enjoy.
Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Good morning to you and yours. How's everybody doing? It is a beautiful morning and welcome to Jump Podcast. Listen, I have another great show. And I say all my shows are great because they are absolutely fantastic. And I'm so excited because my friend Ryan is coming back on the show and he's bringing another one of his, what do I call them? His tutors, his classmates, his teachers, his business. He does a lot. So stay tuned, and we're going to talk about one of his next business partners that he helped get into business here on Jump Podcast.
Something different, right? Hey, I'm talking to you. Do you believe that you have the gift for greatness or have a special talent, but don't have the courage to take that next step? Always wondering how others made it look so easy? Well, welcome to Jump, the show that will bring you special guests just like you and me. How did they get the courage to jump into greatness? Doing what they love and living the good life. So, get ready to jump with your host, Charles Matthews Jr.
Yes, and we're back. And like I said to you before, the Afro Caribbean Business Network helps people to launch their business. So my co-host Ryan is a person that knows about business, who knows how it is to start from scratch all over again. His story is one of that, he was doing great in business, lost his job. They were downsizing and he had to come up with a new idea, went into business, and now he's striving, helping other people get into business and doing a phenomenal thing. He's got a show on radio. He does promos. He does everything. So without further ado, let me bring in Ryan. Are you there?
Geez, sorry about that. It was like muted for some reason.
Not a problem. So Ryan, a second ago, I didn't know how to introduce your clients. Is it clients? Is it business partners? Because when you talk about these guys, it doesn't sound like clients to me anymore. It sounds like it's like a real brotherhood. You want to help these guys out. You know what they've gone through with your story. And it's not like it's Ryan's clients. No, it's more like, oh, I got this buddy so-and-so coming on. I have this great guy so-and-so going on. What do you call these guys, Ryan?
I'll tell you, with Marcus, I felt like he was a partner. When we started working together, it was really because we had met initially. He was one of my clients with Detailing Nights. And then he was just telling me, hey, I've been thinking of starting a business. He was working full-time at a factory at that moment. And yeah, we went to coffee, sat down. I said, hey, all the operations I know in my brain, I can help you apply it to this new business. And he was really the first client of, I would say, the Afro Caribbean Business Network before it was even a thing. So I do consider him like a friend, a family member, a brother, but I love just seeing like that he's flourished and now is gone past me and run away. Remember our last episode? He's too busy to get a hold of now, but no, it's all good.
That's a good thing. It's like letting go of that butterfly. You see him flying away. I did that. That's my butterfly. There he goes. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing. But we have him on the line. Marcus.
Hey man, what's up?
Hey, welcome to the Jump, my friend. Welcome to the Jump.
Happy to be here, my brother. Happy to be here.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about your backstory. Ryan told us a little bit. So you were actually helping Ryan with his car detailing company. And then what made you say, I need to go into my own business?
Forgive me first because I'm a little bit hoarse. I caught up I caught up the flu, so I'm a little bit hoarse. But Ryan, like Ryan is man. This guy is amazing. I really don't know where to start. Like the first time I met Ryan, I actually, my wife told me, that her car was in a bad state and I need to go and clean it. And I went out there and it was too cold. Because we came here in 2016 and, coming from a tropical place to a cold place, it was the transition was very tough. So, so I said, you know what? I'm going to call a car detailer to come and clean this car because it was too cold to go outside to do the cleaning. So I looked on Google and I saw, Ryan was at the top of the list. So I say, yeah, let me call Ryan. Let me call this guy and see, and have the car clean. And you know how when Ryan came to the house and I looked at him, you know how people, you look at a person and it's innate for us to just see the person as, who they are, right? I looked at Ryan and I said, okay, yeah, he came in and he did his thing and I was impressed how he did his thing. And I walked to him and I said, how I'm interested in starting a business like this. How do I go about doing it? I was really interested in what you do here. And Ryan, he when he opened his mouth, I the first thing came to me is that, boy, I didn't know Genius clean cars too. Like the guy was.
Listen, I have to get out the door after this episode, eh? So
I'm about to say,
my head.
No.
Only hold so much in a cell phone. You know what I mean? I think, Ryan, are you still there? Or are you floating away yet?
No, much appreciated.
No, honestly, when this guy opened his mouth, it was like I was so blown away. Like, I'm saying to myself, and it's not only about, the business itself. When he started talking, sorry, when he started talking, it you start to see not only a guy who came there as a car detailer, but you saw a organization, you saw an impact, you saw everything, how he's changing lives, how he's, going into communities and changing the focus of inner city youth. And I saw something bigger than just a guy coming, to clean your car. So I was blown away by his vision, his way of thinking, his everything,
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever thought about business before you came to Canada? You said you came back from Jamaica. Were you always, did you have any business minded of doing anything like that?
I was always business minded. And the thing, we have to be careful how we use the word business minded and entrepreneur, because to me, I was always business minded, but a person who's business minded, to me, my definition of business minded is someone who's inclined to the structure of a business. But an entrepreneur, the difference between a business-minded person and an entrepreneur is that an entrepreneur is a visionary. An entrepreneur is a person, to me, that takes whatever resources they have and they make it work. They create an impact with it. And that, to me, is what Ryan is. He's the main definition of an entrepreneur. Like, for example, a business-minded person will look at the door and they'll swing that door and they'll say, okay, the hinges is good, the door looks good, it's functional, while an entrepreneur will look at a door and he'll say, okay, that can use as a float in case there is a flood. It can use as firewood in case there's fire. It can use as a shelf because, if we don't have a table. So it's more of the vision and how it creates an impact on not only himself, but people around him.
So how long did the process take for you? So you saw that you wanted to do business, and what is your business? Tell us about your business.
Okay, so my business is commercial cleaning. It started off as residential cleaning, but it wasn't as consistent, and I wasn't really, it didn't really resonate with me. The residential aspect of it didn't really resonate with me as how I expected it to. So I decided to venture into commercial, but all those dots connected through Ryan, whether it was directly or indirectly, all those dots connected, because it's like Ryan introduced me to someone, then that someone introduced me to another someone, and then that someone introduced me to another someone until it snowballed into me ending up where I really wanted to be.
We can get them back.
Which is
and really, like, don't take away the credit from Marcus. So when we started, it was residential and commercial, and then because as we were kind of trying to get clients, and we're using like my past clients to say, hey, Detailing Nights, we're working with Royal Eco Clean, I think was the name at the time, and Marcus is this new up and coming company, try them out. We'd go to see a few clients and get testimonial videos. And then as Marcus was starting to build up the brand, I think one of the clients actually connected him with like a commercial opportunity. And then when Marcus was able to get his foot in the door with the commercial opportunity, he realized he was able to structure that business to allow him to quit his job and be full-time and hire staff. So yes, you can, and the old parable, like you lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. The great thing about working with Marcus and other entrepreneurs like him is they're hungry to get it done. So you're not chasing them down to like finish their business plan, finish their logo, or finish their operations, get the equipment. As we put milestones in front, it's like, hey, we need to get this done by Friday. It's done by Thursday. And so when this opportunity came up and Marcus was prepared and ready to take it full blown, that's where the company just amplified and was able to be self-sustaining.
So how long are you in the business now for?
You talking to me? Sorry?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, my brother, I came here in 2016. I started a business in 2017.
Okay.
So so the business actually kicked off in 2017, and here I am today with about eight employees and 3 contracts downtown.
And I think our initial plan was for Marcus to be able to quit his job within 6 months. And I think you were able to quit, in like 3 months or 4 months?
Around about 4 months, yeah.
So let me ask you this, Marcus, because my listeners want to know. That is a quick time to do what you love and jump away from your other business. What were you doing before?
Before I came to Canada?
Before you came to Canada, and then when you got to Canada, what was the job you were doing?
Okay, so before I came to Canada, I was in sales. I pretty much did sales most of my life. When I came to Canada, I was working at a factory, but it was a very, very new experience for me. It was cold storage. It was horrible. Like You can't imagine how much times I called and cried to Ryan. It was.
I don't know if I can last 6 more months.
Yeah, I said, brother, man, please get me out of this, man. Get me out of this. But let me tell you something. When you have a dream and you have goals and you have support and you have a vision, let me tell you something. When you light that fire, trust me, it doesn't stop until it starts blazing. So for me, being at the factory was the best and the worst thing that ever happened to me. Best in the sense that it gave me the fuel I need to blaze the fire to where it's at. And it's the worst in the sense that the conditions that I was working in, I was night and day unfamiliar with it, because I was in the fridge and I was in the freezer and I was packing stuff, and it was just a horrible experience. So that explains, why I say it's the best and the worst thing.
Well, and that's why I love Marcus's story, because there's so many people, and my dad was one of them. I mean, you do what you have to do to keep your family functioning and making sure that everybody can eat and there's shelter, and you go work at the factory. And my dad worked at a steel mill, and I think it's past 25 years now, and you always remember him coming home and just complaining about work. And he always had these dreams of starting his own business, and you get locked down with family and responsibilities, and you can't then keep dreaming. You gotta just put your head down and work and make sure the check is coming in. And then time passes and you kind of miss that window. And where it was beautiful to see that Marcus didn't get stuck in something that really was mentally killing him. Like, you're at work and you don't want to be there. You're thinking about where you want to be, and that like that's the better life, but how do you get there? And so many other business owners right now that are stuck in a job that's really killing them mentally. We always talk about our Black community being in situations where you're mentally attacked with the microaggressions, and they don't want you there, and yet you're stuck and you don't have an option. So entrepreneurship is really that option out of being stuck in a job that's really killing us.
So then let me ask you this, Marcus. Jumping out of a 9-to-5, and I mean a 9-to-5 that is steady, a 9-to-5 that is secure, to take the chance and just jump out to go into your own business. How do you find the confidence to jump into that? Because a lot of people are like, they really want to follow their dreams, but they're like, man, I'm leaving a job that I know is secure. I'm leaving a job that I know is going to bring home food for my family to go try this thing. Or did you do both for a while, and when it really took off, did you jump out? Like, what was your strategy?
That's exactly what I did. Because Ryan, like I said, throughout the whole journey, and mind you, when I say journey, my journey hasn't stopped. It still continues, but I'm talking through the initial journey of starting this business. I was always getting in touch with Ryan, because I'm saying, Ryan, what should I do? Ryan, I have this. Like, what should I do? Like, I'm constantly asking him, because he's my mentor, right? So I'm constantly asking him, how do I go about this? And I remember he told me, he said, Marcus, I know you want to leave Walmart, but please don't quit cold turkey. Just test the water. I can't forget that conversation. I really can't, Ryan said, don't quit cold turkey. Test the waters first, see how it, how it works out, and then if it works out and you're up to a certain level, then you can quit. And that's right. Exactly what I did. I was at Walmart while doing my contracts, and when it reached to a certain level, and then I started getting contracts that gave me some more security. Right. That's when I made the jump. But support is also played a huge factor too, because in addition to Ryan's support, I had a lot of support from my wife too, from my family. Mm-hmm. So that too gave me all the fuel I need to make that transition.
Well, and that's one thing I was about to say. It's like you can do all you want, but unless your family is supporting you, it's a hard thing to jump, because now you got the pressure of the job, you got the pressure of the new business, and then you got your pressure of your loved one saying, "Don't do it. Why are you doing this for? We can't do this and we can't do that." It comes in a full package. You need a full package to go after your dreams. You need a full package to jump into things that are different. And I try to tell all my listeners that if you're in a relationship, you need to be tied together with your partner before you go out and do these things. It's a partner thing.
That is so true. That is so true. The support is trust me, it's a very, very, very huge part of any decisions, right?
And a big piece too was being able to bring on like other, I would say, business coaches, because remember Chris-Beth Cowie, she is one of the co-founders of ACBN, and we were able to work together with Marcus, because if Marcus can't get a hold of me, at least he knows there's somebody else that he can call. And now with our network, trying to build that out so that there's more supports and more mentors, and you can get a piece from a person that's experienced in accounting, and you can get a piece from a person that's experienced in marketing, and you can get a piece from a person that's experienced in like business operations. Because yes, I know up to a certain level, but there's people in our community that are experts far beyond what I know. But if we're able to have them all as a close by resource, a phone call away or a coffee away, that's where you're not going to feel alone with starting your business. And really, you're going to be able to amplify. And maybe instead of having to wait 3 months doing a job that you don't like, it can be as low as a month or 2 weeks. Like we can shorten that time frame where jumping into a business isn't as risky. And when you're talking to your wife about quitting your cushy, safe 9-to-5, you can outline that plan that shows your family like how you thought through everything. How is it going to be sustainable? You have contracts lined up. Everything that Marcus was able to do over 3 months, that's the blueprint. Like that is what we have to understand. You can't just jump into things. You have to plan it out, have like Marcus was saying, like kind of test a few different things, because we started out in residential and now he ended up in commercial, and that's where he was able to get his footing and build a sustainable business.
So it wasn't exactly the right set, but it leads into other things, what you're saying.
Absolutely. And knowing that like at certain intervals you're checking and analyzing, and it's like, okay, even when it was residential, how many clients did we do this week? What's the goal? How do we get them on a recurring contracts? And then when you got the commercial, it was like, okay, boom, set amount, you're going to get this. How do you execute now? Because if you're able to put employees into that station, you're able to now go get more contracts. And when you got up to, I think, 2 or 3, then it was enough money was coming in from employees going out and doing the work that it freed up Marcus's time to maybe focus on one or go out and start making more business or getting more business. And I believe now he's working on like assisting other business owners with their digital marketing. I don't know if Marcus, you wanted to go into that a little bit.
Sure, man, definitely. Like I said, I and it goes back into what's truly considered as an entrepreneur. To me, life is about seeing what's out there, not only seizing the opportunities, but it's all about connecting the dots, because it's so, like, I can't stress this enough. Like, sometimes we have to just take a closer look of what's out there, because money's out there to be made. Like, there is so much, you just have to connect the dots.
Right.
And for me, hold on, I lost my chain of thought. What were you saying again, Ryan?
We're asking you about giving back. So here's the question, because Ryan helped you, right?
Yeah.
And now you have employees yourself. How are you giving back to these employees? Because the chain doesn't stop. So you were actually working with Ryan. He helped you. You got your own business. Now these employees are working for you. are you throwing it back to them to see if any of them need to open their own business and teach
For sure. For sure, you have people with me. I actually paid for them to start their own business. Like I have a kid working with me right now. He just started his own air duct cleaning business because he's doing HVAC. And I said, listen, you have to start your own business. And he said, okay, what kind of business can I start? Well, I said, you're into HVAC, so start by opening an HVAC cleaning business. That way, you can work on HVAC, and you're also, going to be certified to clean HVAC. You have a license to do it, so open your own business. He said, well, I really don't have the money to do it. I said, okay, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for all the your business fees and everything. And now he's actually on his own. He's doing his thing. I'm gonna start advertising his business as soon as he's up and running.
Okay, and that's about turning it a full circle and giving back and helping each other. Before, let us know how we can find you. What's your contact and your website?
Well, I can be reached at 647-995-4457.
All right. So what's the next step, Ryan? So what do you do now? He's in the business already. He's already in his business. Now, do you let him go, or do you still help with your students after the business is thriving? Because now he's got 3 contracts. He's got his own employees. How does the company help everybody move on? How does the Afro Canadian Business Network help people after they have their business established?
Yeah, and more, it's kind of just being there for support and listening to like the new ideas, because yes, you have your machine that's working, it's making money, and then as Marcus said, as entrepreneurs, you're always trying to find like what is that next opportunity, or how can it connect to something else, and then being there to make sure again they go through the blueprint and not just jumping into things. But with the Afro Caribbean Business Network, and really I love the theme of this show that we did this week, where people that are kind of on the fence, like are running a business, they're employed right now and thinking about this company that they want to start. That's where I feel like have that conversation with an organization like ours. And yeah, once it's up and running, we don't just let you go. Like Marcus, he really took off and was doing great, but we do want to be here as that resource that you can always check in with. Hey, come back and do a session for other entrepreneurs that are maybe thinking about quitting their job, and tell your story. So keeping that connection really live within the network, because when we first started working with Marcus, our network wasn't fully flushed out. And we really used that experience to then create the coaching that we do with businesses now, how we structure business building workshops, like what are key things that entrepreneurs need to know, and then how do we keep in touch, because I would have loved to be more involved and more engaged with Marcus as he grew, but it was kind of like, he's good. So with other people, they might need more check-ins, and kind of having a whole year of just, hey, it's a monthly check-in. So we have membership levels that include that. If people want to be engaged with coaching, a mentor, more frequently, then we have that option. But some people, hey, they get the information, they're good, they come to a info session or a workshop about marketing, they take the info and they hit the ground running, they're good. They're not obligated to check in, right? So it's just being here for what people need.
So Marcus, let me ask you this question. When you started your business, or getting into business, or even starting it, right? Where did you go wrong?
Before I answer that question, I remember what the question I was gonna answer for Ryan, about the new business. Was that the question, Ryan? The new one that I'm starting?
Right, but I think you were saying about the digital marketing.
Yeah. So my background, because I majored in college, I majored in marketing and sales. So this was always my passion to start, a marketing business. So the digital marketing was inevitable. It was something that I it was my passion from very long, a long time. So I just put together the structure of the business. I registered the business. So it's mainly going to be focused on leveraging social media to advertise businesses, right? And I'm going to add SEO to that, website building. Ryan has saw me code before. You remember, Ryan, in my house where I code and I built a game, right in front of him. When I used to mess with coding, that's when I used to mess with coding pretty hard. But I'm a bit rusty now with all these new different languages. But anyway, yeah. So that is what I'm really focusing on right now. The digital marketing company. But I'm doing that as well as I'm, heavily engaged in the cleaning business. So back to your question now about where I went wrong. Where went wrong is a bit. I wouldn't say fail, because you only fail when you give up. Where did I?
Yeah, and a lot of it felt like trial and error.
Yeah. It's like trial and error. So I wouldn't say I went anywhere wrong. It's like trial and error kind of thing. Because I was just learning the business. I was just, getting adjusted to Canada and the different systems, the tax systems. And so to me, it's not, I really didn't go wrong. It was trial and error, I would say. That's a better way to put it.
All right. Well, listen, I thank you guys so much for your time. I know your story is going to help other people coming out there, other people that just coming to Canada, or other people that just want to take that chance and jump. So thank you so much for taking the time and coming on the show. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out.
Yes, our pleasure. Man. Thank you again.
Yep, it was our pleasure. And any way we can give back, man, just let us know, because it's all about giving back.
All right. Thanks so much. You guys have been listening to Jump, and we want to thank all of our callers for calling in. And remember, when you want to take that chance, even in business, there's companies out there that will help you. Ryan will be back again with another great success story, but don't hesitate. Give him a call. This is your opportunity to shine. This is your opportunity to jump. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening. If you liked the show or have a comment, we would love to hear from you. Join our mailing list. And as always, check out our special deals links below. I hope this has inspired you to look at your life and jump. See you next week.
Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer. Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, hope you had a great time listening to the show. If you think I did a great job, please buy me a coffee. I still got a lot of work to do. We would love to hear from you, your feedback, so please click the link and leave us a review. You can help us grow by following us on all social media platforms and sharing this link. Once again, it's time for you to jump. Success is waiting.